Hello and welcome to a brief tutorial on how to submit an initial review xForm in IRB Manager. The objectives of this tutorial are to demonstrate how to start a new submission and navigate an xForm, how to return to an unsubmitted xForm, how to complete a review by the principal investigator, how to return to the xForm for IRB required changes, and how to access IRB determination letters for reviews. IRB Manager Login. IRB Manager may be accessed with any web browser at the following web page specific to the CDS-IRB IRB Manager system: https://cds-irb.my.irbmanager.com. Be sure to bookmark the CDS-IRB login page for future use. Registered users can enter their username and password and click the Login button. In order to register for the first time in IRB Manager, click the link "Click here to register" and follow the prompts. A brief tutorial video is available for first-time users for further information. Starting an xForm for a new project. A new study requires the submission of an initial application to create a project file in IRB Manager. The initial application for Secondary Analysis Research xForm can be started on the dashboard. To access the xForm, simply click on the link under the Actions menu. The initial application will open in a new window. Navigating an xForm. xForms contain a few different question types, such as text boxes, requests to add attachments, or multiple choice questions. Instructions may also be included next to certain questions for clarification. Tables will require the user to enter required information and then click Save at the end of each row, as directed by the instructions. Adding attachments. For questions that require attaching documents, click on the Attach button and a new Add Attachment window will open. Click the Select Files button to find and select a file or drag a file into the box. Name the file using a descriptive file name. Select the type of file you are uploading, such as CV, research plan, etc., and then click the Attach button. A majority of the questions on an xForm are required. Once these questions have been answered, you can use the navigation buttons at the bottom of each page to move to the next page, or you can return to a previous page or save the xForm for later. You can also use the Page Title drop-down menu at the top of the form to jump between different pages of the xForm without having to answer all of the required questions. Please note you will not be able to submit an incomplete form. If there are required questions that are skipped on any page, the next button will not move you forward. The required questions will also be highlighted in red and listed at the top of the page. Submitting an xForm for review. If the person completing the xForm is the lead principal investigator, the PI will be prompted to sign the form by entering their password and then clicking the Next button. A new window will open. The PI can then click the Submit button to forward the form for review. Or they can use the other navigation buttons to either go back into the form, save for later, or print a copy of the form. Principal Investigator Review. If the submitting user completing the xForm is not listed as the principal investigator, the submitting user will submit the xForm and an email will be sent to the PI that the xForm is ready for their review and signature. The PI can click on the link in the email to open the xForm to review it. The PI can also access the xForm by logging into IRB Manager and clicking on the link in the xForm section of the dashboard under There are xForms awaiting your attention. Once the PI has accessed the xForm, they can scroll down the form to review it. If it is ready to be submitted, the PI can select Ready for Submission and then enter in their password to sign the form electronically. Then they need to select the Next button to move them forward to the submission page. If the PI requires further revisions to the xForm before it is submitted for review, they will select Changes Required and then indicate what changes must be made before the PI will sign the form. They will need to click the Next button in order to go to the Submit page, after which an email will be sent to the submitting user that contains the required changes and a link to the xForm so the submitting user can access the form. Returning to an unsubmitted xForm. If a user needs to return to an xForm that was started but not submitted, they can access the xForm via one of two methods on the dashboard. Under the My Documents and xForms menu on the left side of the dashboard, they can click the xForms link, or in the middle of the dashboard, they can click on the Unsubmitted xForms link under the xForms header. A table of unsubmitted xForms will open. Then they can click on the link for the xForm to continue working on the form. Required changes. Once an xForm is submitted and reviewed, the IRB may require modifications or clarifications to the application. In this situation, the submitting user and/or PI will receive an email that modifications are required. The required changes will be listed in the body of the email, and there will be a link to access the xForm in order to make those changes and resubmit. IRB determination letters. Once a determination has been made regarding a submission, the PI will receive an email with the IRB determination letter attached. IRB determination letters can also be accessed by navigating to the project page and then clicking on the link to the event details page of a specific event. From the event details page, click on the Attachments link under the Actions menu to open the Attachments page. On the Attachments page, select the Generated Docs tab to open a table of all correspondence generated by IRB Manager. To access a determination letter, click on the link and the document will be downloaded. This concludes the brief tutorial of submitting an xForm in IRB Manager. If you have any further questions or need help with any aspect of IRB Manager, please contact us by phone or email.